Good morning, my name is Eric Inohos. This is my wife Katie Inohos. We've been part of this church since 2017, back when we were over there at Sheffield Elementary, which has been pretty awesome to see the church grow and go from there.
To me, Casket Empty is just the zoomed out picture of the whole Bible. It's, the meta-narrative of the Bible. To me, what I really learned in Casket Empty was just how depraved we are, just how fallen we are, but just God's pursuit. And I think the Old Testament has this bad rap that God is just this wrathful, angry God, but what we saw over and over was just how loving he was and how he pursued his people over and over. And so I think being able to see the zoomed out version and just seeing the redemptive plan that God had the whole time, culminating in delivering up Jesus, I think was just really important to see, and it was very impactful for me.
It gave me an opportunity to see the Old Testament in a perspective of this whole thing ties in together. Since sometimes it can be intimidating looking into the Old Testament, you're like, I have no clue what Kings is, Chronicles, how any of this fits together. I'm like, why am I reading this? And then you see this overarching story, like God has been pursuing his people this entire time. He's made covenants with his people and he keeps pursuing them, even though we keep turning our backs on him. And it's amazing to see God's love for us then, now, and forever. I'll be honest, before this, we read different parts of the Old Testament, different parts of the New Testament, but now it's just knowing how the whole Bible is structured together. It's been creating this sense of like thirst and being able to get into the Word and know the different time periods it is. So for me in my spiritual walk, it's been an opportunity to get into the Bible more, to be able to feed myself throughout the week, to be able to really understand what's going on, and just understand the story from start to finish, and how the Bible's structured, and know that when I'm picking up in Kings, picking up in Chronicles, picking up in a minor prophet, how that fits into the whole timeline. Because a lot of times it was intimidating. I don't know who any of these people were, where these books were organized. Yes. And like, how is this all making sense? But Casket really did that, really helped me out with that. And so it's been helping me out spiritually, really wanting to get into the Word more.
For my spiritual walk, I would say my confidence approaching the scriptures has really grown. I think the Old Testament was kind of an intimidating place for me to really explore, and I was not very confident in my ability to read, prophecy or even the apocalyptic things. Really, even poetry was hard for me, and it still is hard for me, but I feel like I have so much more confidence going into reading an Old Testament book of the Bible and really understanding how you can find Jesus there, which is amazing. Like wherever it is, like you think you're just kind of reading a historical account, but no, Jesus is there. He's there everywhere. And I think that's been really cool.
It's given us an opportunity to just be humble where we're at with our knowledge of the Bible. So it's like, hey, giving us an opportunity to be fresh. Like, hey, do you know what the Old Testament is? Maybe not all of us do. And so we all got to start in the beginning and we worked our way through the Old Testament. And so I think it's helped us all grow in just the foundational knowledge of what the Bible is and how God is continually just showing up for us and his people. And then specifically with Casket, there's so many resources that are available to us, especially like the maps and the timelines. We could see it in a picture format because I love seeing things in pictures, right? And so I was able to see creation, Abraham, and Sinai, and all these different aspects of Casket all put together. So when we open up the Bible now, I'm like, okay, I know exactly where I'm at in this timeline, and this overarching theme throughout the Bible.
Right. Yeah, I think just familiarity with the Old Testament, I think, was really good for our life group, and I think everybody could have benefited from familiarity with the Old Testament. Really, yeah. It was cool to do it together. Just do it.
Just do it. Be like Nike.
Just do it. We tell ourselves so many things, so many reasons not to, and I'm one of those people. Like, oh, small group's not my thing, or I don't know if I can get up early, or a common one I think I hear a lot is, well, this group is already formed. I would just be barging in. There's so many excuses that you can tell yourself, but at the end of the day, they don't hold water. We're meant to live together in community, and I think that it's just an encouragement to study the scriptures together and build relationships with people. So I would just encourage you to do it. If you have any little fiber in your brain that's like, maybe that would be kind of cool, you should just do it. Just try it.
I 100% agree. I think that it'll also make the church feel smaller. You get to know people on a more intimate level. And a lot of times throughout the year, we saw that we need to encourage each other, pray for each other, or there are opportunities to bring a meal to somebody or just walk and talk with somebody. And I think having that smaller, intimate setting than you get on a Sunday morning at church, you can get that with your life group, and you can go do lunches together, you can do dinners together, and there's just so much community that's built there. So 100% encourage it. It'll make church feel like church, you know. It'll be with your people, and you get to study the Word together and dive deep together and just be vulnerable with each other on where you're at in your life.